Welcome back to My Life on a GLP-1. I'm your host, Scott Johnson, and I'm here with my fantastic co-host, Sarah.
Hey Scott, great to be here. So what are we diving into today?
Today, we're talking about a topic that sneaks up on a lot of us on this journey. It's something that happens at backyard fire pits, at work events, at dinner parties. We're talking about GLP-1s and alcohol.
Ooh, this is a big one. I see this come up in online communities all the time. People are just bewildered.
Bewildered is the perfect word. I had my own aha moment, or maybe an uh-oh moment, a few months into my journey. My neighbors invited me over. I brought a bottle of my favorite white wine and settled in for a nice, normal evening.
Sounds lovely.
It was. I had one glass, just one, over about 45 minutes, and I felt great, chatting, laughing, until I stood up to walk across the patio.
Oh, no. That doesn't sound so good. Please, go on.
And my legs had clearly received a different memo than my brain. I wasn't drunk, the world wasn't spinning, but it was undeniable. One glass of wine was now hitting me like three used to. Nobody told me this was part of the deal.
That's the exact story I hear over and over. People think they're imagining it, or that they're suddenly a lightweight for no reason.
Exactly. And the first thing we want to say is, you are not imagining it. Something very real, pharmacologically, is happening. So let's break down the science of it.
Let's do it. Where do we start?
It starts with one of the main mechanisms of these medications, slowed gastric emptying. We know this is how they help us feel full longer. Food just stays in the stomach for a bit before moving on.
Right, that's Zepbound 101.
Well, alcohol follows that same pathway. It now lingers in your stomach. The absorption into your bloodstream is delayed and drawn out. So you might finish a drink, feel totally fine, and then 15 minutes later, bam. The effect sneaks up on you because the timeline has completely shifted.
And that's compounded by another factor, right? The food buffer, or the lack thereof. We've all heard the advice eat before you drink because a full stomach slows alcohol absorption.
Mm-hmm.
But on these meds, our full is a much smaller meal. That buffer is tiny now. So even if you did eat, the alcohol gets into your bloodstream much faster and at a higher concentration.
That makes so much sense. And there's another piece to the puzzle, our changing bodies. Sarah, you can explain this one better than me.
Sure, it's actually just simple math. Alcohol distributes through the water in your body. As we lose weight, our total body mass decreases, which means our total body water decreases.
Okay, right.
So, the same amount of alcohol in a smaller body produces a higher effective concentration. It's not a personal failing, it's just physiology. Your body is operating with a new set of rules.
So I am literally operating like a lightweight. Got it. And then there's the most fascinating part, in my opinion, the brain connection. GLP-1 receptors aren't just in our gut. They're all over our brain, including the parts that handle reward and motivation, the dopamine system.
The part that makes us go, ooh, that was nice, I want more.
Precisely. And just like these meds turn down the volume on food noise, emerging research suggests they might do the same for the reward we get from alcohol. This is why some people report three distinct patterns in their experience.
Okay, let's name them. Pattern 1 is what happened to you, Scott. The same amount hits much, much harder. That's the gastric emptying and body composition changes in action.
The most common one, for sure.
Pattern 2 is that things just taste different. That beer you've loved for years suddenly tastes metallic. Wine tastes bitter or just off. It's the same sensory changes some people get with certain foods.
And the third pattern is maybe the most disorienting. The interest just disappears.
Yeah, people describe reaching for a glass of wine out of pure habit, taking a sip, and just not wanting the rest. The desire is gone.
Which brings us to the most important part. What do we actually do with all this information? The safety conversation.
Absolutely. First and foremost, the old rules do not apply. Your personal calibration of how many drinks equals a certain level of impairment is now outdated. This is especially crucial when it comes to driving. What used to be "I'm fine to drive" amount may absolutely not be anymore.
That needs to be said louder for the people in the back. Do not drive on the old rules. Period.
And hydrate. We're already prone to dehydration on these meds, and alcohol just makes it so much worse. The key is to see this as a recalibration period. Start with a 1 drink baseline with food and just observe. Learn your body's new rules.
And we should touch on the social side of this too. For many of us, drinking is a ritual. It's how we connect, relax, and celebrate.
It really is. And it can feel awkward to be at a party sipping sparkling water while everyone else is drinking wine. You feel like you stand out.
But over time, you realize something. The people you value, the connections that matter, they were never contingent on matching everyone drink for drink. It was always about the conversation.
That is so true. And there's an unexpected upside to all this, isn't there?
A huge one. Fewer drinks mean fewer empty calories. It means clearer mornings, which means more consistent workouts, better sleep, more energy. The positive effects start to cascade. The shift away from alcohol, for me, didn't feel like deprivation. It just felt like information.
I love that. It's your body giving you new information and you're adapting to it.
Exactly. The alcohol was never the point. It just took this medication to make that crystal clear. Oh, and the big one that I must cover,
What is that?
the hangover. Maybe it is just me, but I have also received a lot of messages from people saying the hangovers are multiplied, not just the headache, the nausea, queasy stomach, and the evacuation of it all.
Evacuation? Are you referring to the drinker's diarrhea? Yeah. Been there, done that. So take caution, folks. And on that note, I want to send a toast out to each of you listening and thank you for your ongoing support. Please take a moment to go back into Apple or Spotify and give us a 5-star rating so we can keep coming back every week. So tell us, Scott, besides the hangover, any other wise words of advice you have on this boozy topic.
Thanks, Sarah. My pleasure to always end an episode with some poop talk, right? Here is the part that surprised me most. The shift in relationship with alcohol, for all its initial awkwardness, turned out to have an upside that I did not anticipate. Fewer drinks means fewer empty calories and clearer mornings. I have better results on the scale, better sleep, and better energy throughout the day. The cascade effect of drinking less was, in my experience, meaningfully positive in ways that extended well beyond the drinks themselves.
But you still have a glass of wine or a drink on occasion, right?
I do. And the social situations where I thought the alcohol was doing important work, they turned out to be fine without it. The conversations were the same. The connections held. The Friday work drinks were just as functional with sparkling water in my hand. The alcohol was never really the point. It just took a medication and a happy hour event with unreliable legs to make that clear. So, on behalf of Sarah, I'm Scott Johnson. Feel free to have a drink or not. Just know your body treats it very differently. Be safe and always remember to love your journey